Hello, my name is Ishua Credit. I am with AMAG Technology, and today's training video is a video about Symmetry that compares the differences between Symmetry 8 and versions 9.1 and above. And to help us navigate our training video today is Alfred Gallegos, our application engineer here at AMAG Technology. And with no further ado, Alfred, go ahead and take us through the differences in the Symmetry software.
Thank you, Ish. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I will be demonstrating some of the new features on Symmetry 9.9. And as you can see from our screen, our developers did update our login screen. And one of the things they did update was the case sensitive for passwords. So, for example, in the past, you're able to, put in the default install password, and the install password could be uppercase or lowercase, and you could still get in. However, in this a newer version now, if I go ahead and put installer, and then turn on my caps, and then put install, I get invalid login now. So anytime you create a new password within Symmetry, if you use caps or anything like that, that's going to be the default password. If I put AMAG, capital A, then I have to put capital A, AMAG, as a password. So let me go ahead and log in now. Still got the caps on. And now I'm in. And another new feature that our developers provided us is they removed the engineer login count. However, you still can make a user or a role have the same privileges as an engineer login. To establish that, you just go to Maintenance, Roles, select File, open the desired role. In this case, I'm just going to use my default. And then from here, you just go to Options, and then you'll see a checkbox, Assign System Admin Privileges. Okay. Now, if you need to know what additional items that includes, you can always go to the Help, Options, and then right here where it says Assign System Admin Privileges, and it gives you all the subcategories for that permission. Another item is basically the pins. So if you have a Card Plus pin on your system, now you can enable for the cardholder, and you do that under maintenance and preferences. But I'm just going to show you here in the cardholder. If you decide to use a pin code, now we can establish consecutive digits. So in other words, we can disable this consecutive digits. So in other words, you cannot use 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 2, and etc. So that's also been added into Symmetry, and that's done under maintenance and system preferences. And then you just draw the card saves. Visor mode. So visor mode is a way of a visitor can present their card, and only after the escort basically presents their card first. That can be established under the reader definition. So if I go to Install, Reader, open up one of my readers, and go to the Modes tab. Here I have Visor mode. So this will allow a visitor to present their card, and only after the escort presents their card. Executive card options. So in the past, when you select executive card under the cardholder record, it was just that checkbox, nothing, no subcategories whatsoever. So if you want to exempt them from like card plus pin or any passback, it would just do them all. So now in this version, when you enable executive card, you have these options when you select this arrow. So now I can say, okay, maybe I want them to be part of anti-passback and not exempt them from that. But I want the 3 items. So in this version 9 on up, you can basically select your exempt items from the executive card. Okay, there's also a new alarm preferences. So when I go to maintenance, system preferences, and alarm settings. So this is these are the 2 new items they're talking about. Highlight alarms on reset, and then auto clear alarm on reset. So basically what that does, so I got both of them checked. So if I go to my home and alarms, and what I'm going to do here is clear it, and I'm going to generate an alarm. And as you can see, you'll see a red box. Basically, that's next to my alarm condition. So now my alarm, my door monitor is forced open. When I reset, it basically changes colors. So you have one half of the box is red and the other half is grayed out. That's basically telling me that the alarm been reset. So now I can clear it. The other selection, which is auto clear alarm on reset, depending on what you want to do, it could prompt the user. So what that means is this. If I go ahead, generate my alarm again, and the device has now been reset, and I hit clear, it's going to prompt me. This alarm requires a reset. You wish to clear it. If I select yes, it's going to clear it. If I select no, and I select OK, I just acknowledge it. But as you can see, it's turned blue. Now, when the device is reset, it's going to turn green automatically. Now I can go ahead and clear it manually. Bypass door alarm report. What that's for is if you want to run a report on any door alarm that's been disabled. So if you set your alarms or your door alarms like door force and all that on a schedule to disarm, or not to disarm, but to be disabled, so you don't want to see any door force or anything or any alarm coming from that device, you can also run a report based off of that. So when you go to reports, configuration, and reports, now you have this selection from the listing type. Bypass dual alarms, and then you can run that alarm. Or run with that report, and it'll tell you all the doors that are basically disabled in that report. Access codes. Under operation, access codes. Now the user has the ability to create a schedule or provide a schedule for the access code. So by default, when you create an access code and you assign it to a card holder, and depending on the condition of that access code, it could be 24/7, it could be 8 to 5 or whatever. But now you have the ability to go into the schedule right here. And by looking at these 2 icons right here, the green means active and the red means inactive. I can go ahead and select what days I want that schedule to be inactive. And when you highlight a box and hit disable, that means that schedule is going to be disabled for that day. Advanced reports enhancements. So if you're familiar with advanced reports, you can now schedule advanced reports through Symmetry. Now, the thing that you need to know is when it comes to scheduling advanced reports within Symmetry, all the filters have to be static. What that means is you cannot basically have our team, or you cannot create some type of filter, and that's a custom selectable filter within advanced reports. Everything has to be static. Once you go into advanced reports, already had it up. I did it. Let's scroll down. I did have it up. There we go. So you have to go into options, and then you have to basically turn on your repository. Once you turn that on, then you can go into your report library. And for example, what I did here is I selected all doors accessed by today. Is I went to this icon right here, and I went to my export, and I selected Symmetry repository. So I already did it, even though you don't see it here. But you select this radio button right here, and you hit proceed. And what that does, it puts that report in the repository. So this way, Symmetry is able to see it when you provide permissions to that report. So let me go ahead and minimize this. And now you've got to go to maintenance, roles, select the desired role. And in this case, I'm selecting installer. And then you select reports, history, predefined reports. And then you're going to see that advanced report on the right-hand side. Once you do that, you're going to check like I have it here. Select OK. And what you're doing is you're giving that role permission to that report. So when they have permission to that report, they can go to reports, predefined reports. They'll be able to see that report on the left-hand side and move it from left to right. Highlight the report, select open. And then from here, they can schedule that report by selecting enable. Then from here, depending on the type of report, if I select just leave it by default, it's going to run every day, and I can put a start time. And then the nice thing about this destination, it gives me more options. So one of the options that, and it's also new in version 9, is the fact you can select email and email the report to a recipient. So it could be in a Word format, or it could be in Excel, or whatever you need. Now, another new feature in AMAG is the fact that we do include the ability to add email profiles, but at the time, you can only add one profile. Now, within Symmetry, you can add multiple profiles for the email. So this way you can select multiple recipients instead of just one. Now, another feature is, and basically I can't show you because I don't have any comments within my screen, but under home alarms. And if I generate another alarm, and if I double click on my alarm, you can add comments. But now what they did is they added 2,500 characters for the comments for your alarm condition. So that's also been added. Now, another feature is dependency deletion. Back in the older software, when you need to delete a not a controller, but a reader, and that reader is tied to an access code or a reader group, when basically, or individual or a card holder by using individual readers, or maybe it's assigned to a schedule command or a trigger command. You have to back out that reader out of those areas in order to delete it. But now you can go into, you can enable that feature, and you can go ahead and delete it. And again, that's also by the roles. So you have to go into roles and basically enable that. So that's under maintenance, roles, find, double click, and then open up the desired role, and then go to options. And there's a checkbox. allow external, not that one. Where is it at? Here we go. Allow automatic deletion of device dependencies. So if you have that checked, you select OK, close, go to install, and to see, let me do a reader, but I'm not going to delete it. If I select delete, it basically gives you the results here where it's located. And then once I select OK, you have to put in your password. And then once you put in your password, you're able to proceed with the deletion, and it's going to remove that reader. And I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to recreate. So there's also been an update with the cardholder record screen. In previous versions prior to 9, actually, yes, prior to 9.4, they basically separated some features within the cardholder record. So if I open up my record, before you had a setup tab with all your card credential information. And so now what they did is they created a new menu, or renamed the setup menu to identity, and they created a new credential tab. So now the credential tab pertains to the credentials itself, and the identity tab pertains to additional options, where you take a picture, the approving official, and so forth. So this is where also you add the badge design. So again, they separated the setup tab in the older version, and they basically created an identity and credential tab. Bulk card amendments enhancements. So basically, they improved on the performance of searching and moving a large number of cardholders to a selected for bulk card amendment list. So basically, now you can see how many cardholders are affected when you do a bulk change. So, for example, if I go to Home, Bulk Card Amendments, select Find, and let's say I want to select these 2 cardholders. Move them over from left to right. And I'm going to just do personal details. And let's say I'm going to select a different department for them. Once I select OK, then you get this message. You're about to make changes to personal data for 2 cardholders. Are you sure you want to continue? Just select OK, but this is the new message now. Now, another feature, or actually something they enhanced on, is under Setup, Personal Data, Cardholder Data. So now they allow up to 100 characters instead of 40 characters. So most cases, some customers will have a 40 character for the Personal Data tab. But now we allow up to 100 characters. So that's been enhanced. And as you can see, I should have let off on it, but as you can see from my screen, our development team did enhance the themes and icons for the Symmetry product. So as you can see, I click on each of the menus, and each subcategory has different icons now. Now, there's one improvement that a lot of customers did request, is also includes other 3 themes. And when I mean themes, I mean the view look. So if I put my pointer over this icon, now you have a Symmetry high contrast. If I select that, now it changes the view of the screen. If I put my pointer over this one, this is Symmetry light, which was my default. If I get my pointer over this icon, now this is Symmetry dark. So now you have 3 different type of themes. Another, I want to call this in a enhancement addition to your clients. Now we have a concurrent user license for your FIT client. So for example, I had a customer that basically uses Citrix, and they have staging Citrix servers. And as you know, with our RDS/Citrix licensing, it's tied to the machine. However, the Symmetry concurrent user license is not tied to the machine. So now when the customer goes from one stage to the next stage, to the next stage, and then to production, they don't have to worry about that license being tied to that machine. So what our customer did is we provided these concurrent user licenses. Now they can go and use that for the different stages without having that license being basically dedicated to that first PC. So that is a big improvement. The Symmetry concurrent user license is not in the price list. It is in our gray list.